Hey Aries, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon Scorpio full moon reading. So let's dive into the cards and see what messages Spirit has for you for your Scorpio full moon. All right, so first up, we're going to get your message from the universe, the Scorpio full moon. We got Temperance. Okay, so focus, integration, and I don't know why, but amalgamation, those are some keywords coming to mind just right away. So, overall, this is going to be a time of, slow down if you feel like you're in a rush. If you've been kind of dragging, maybe pick up the pace. So, this is a time to really look at your steps, your process, and stay attentive to whatever your goals are on a bigger scale. Archangel Michael stepping forth here as a symbol of just that angelic energy of protection, of guidance. So, also knowing that you are being divinely guided at this time. So, like, let's just say, for example, that you feel that you've been doing well, you've been keeping up a good pace, and then suddenly you hit a speed bump or something that seems to be a block. All of it is divine, okay? Divine intervention, divine redirection, all right? If you feel for whatever reason that something has sort of happened to either again slow you down, or even on the other hand, if you have felt like things have slowed down, just get ready for that shift to happen to help kind of kick things into gears, what I'm getting. So let's see what this full moon will be bringing to your awareness. Eight of Pentacles. So this is all about continuing to show up, continuing to look at the details, or rather not continuing, excuse me, but looking at the details from a different perspective as well. Remember that you've made a lot of progress as it is. And so, again, I'm just getting this feeling that maybe you've been on a pretty good trajectory, but it feels like things are either slowing down or shifting in some kind of a way. This shift is something that's going to be working on your behalf, okay? Because with this Eight of Pentacles energy, it's also a sign that it's time to shift gears in how you're continuing to show up, doing what you're doing. You're not necessarily having to put in the same level of effort that you were before because you've come so far. Now you can go back and refine your steps, refine your work, refine your process, your progress. So for example, it's a good time to review, okay, the things that you've already kind of done, the steps again that you've already taken to get to where you are, so that when the next piece of the puzzle drops, you'll have no reason to kind of go back over your work because you already did that. Okay, so the next piece will be dropping. Don't kind of just rest on your laurels. There's still things to do. Like, for example, if you've made a certain amount of progress and you're feeling slowed down, like I said, this is time to shift gears and maybe put some attention into different aspects or areas of your life that you haven't had time to focus on. Okay, so let's see what you may be revisiting. High Priestess energy, trusting your instincts, being aware that maybe not everything or everyone is as it seems in this moment. So trust your gut. Remember also with the High Priestess, and I forgot to mention, so Temperance, Sagittarius energy, High Priestess, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energies. Trust your instincts. Your psychic, intuitive self is going to be speaking to you, still speaking to you. So, pay attention to that aspect. All right. Advice for a smooth full moon. Father of Cups, again, calling for you to trust your instincts and to take action accordingly. With the Father of Cups, this may be a time to, okay, so part of what I'm getting is just because you cannot see it doesn't mean you can't believe it, especially if it's something that is a gut feeling. So, this may be a good time to harness some of that emotional strength to either push things through, or I'm even getting like push past anything that may feel, I don't know why, Aries, but I keep getting this feeling like you can handle things. It might be a little bit of an obstacle course, or not full on, but certain bumps, certain things coming up that kind of feel as though maybe they're testing you, but you've got what it takes. You've got the wherewithal, you've got the skill, you've got the talent, and you can trust yourself to make something happen or to take the next steps, whatever those next steps might be. but definitely it's a time to trust your emotions and to, just do your best to compartmentalize. There are certain things that you might be wanting, that you would rather, just kind of skip past this, that, or the other thing, but you're going to get through it. All right. That's just what I get really strongly here for you, Aries. So, what sort of vacation is your soul craving? Ace of Cups. Yeah. So, there's this whole energy of, again, the water coming through. So I'm just feeling it again. Forgive me, I got to honor the downloads, but things just slowing down so that you can focus on going into your heart, being at heart center. You're ready for a new start, a fresh sort of perspective, a cleansing, perhaps some sort of cleansing ritual may be beneficial for you. I know it's a full moon, but before you can just kind of put your intentions out there, you want to make sure that you're starting from a clear space, right? And so with this Ace of Cups, I get this feeling of, even, for some, if you're in a relationship, maybe a new cycle for your relationship to kind of start up again. Not that anything is stopping, but just having some form of, I'm getting the word refreshment, and again, cleansing, purification of things to have a new cycle that's starting up. If you're single, maybe you're ready, your heart's open, you're wanting to open your heart up to love. If anything, at minimum, it's about having, I'm hearing, for whatever reason, the word copacetic is coming to mind, but just heart to heart conversations. And this starts from within. So it's you listening to your heart, taking that time to just care for yourself in that way, and to focus on your wellness, to focus on, again, as I mentioned with the Father of Cups, listening to your gut, listening to your heart, and not being afraid to pursue that accordingly. All right. So Aries, check out your rising and moon signs for some deeper insights, maybe your Venus North nodes, but definitely schedule your session with us, girlonhermoon.com, for a 45-minute live session or pre-recorded. Have a good one. Hi Taurus, how are you? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, Scorpio full moon reading. So let's tune in. Let's see what the cards reveal for you in regards to this Scorpio full moon. All right. So let's see. Spirit, what does Taurus need to know in regards to this Scorpio full moon? Thank you. All right. So what you need to hear from the universe. First up, we've got the Nine of Cups. Okay, so make a wish is what I'm hearing. The Nine of Cups is that card of wishes and fulfillment. So you should be feeling pretty good with this full moon, or at least in that kind of flow space is what I'm hearing. Focus on gratitude, being in that space, attitude of gratitude to help magnify, amplify your manifestations, okay? To draw them in with a stronger sense of magnetism. So this Nine of Cups, again, I just kind of tapped back on there and I'm hearing it again, is to just stay focused on the good that you've managed to co-create and manifest thus far. Nine of Cups, one step away from the 10 of Cups. So it's a good time again for review and, just that appreciation that you can, in so many ways, be at your leisure when it comes to, again, fulfillment. When it comes to, I was going to say manifestation, but yes, fulfillment. All right. Okay. What will this full moon be bringing into your awareness? Three of Wands. Yeah, the chips are coming in. So something is in process right now, Taurus. There's something that's underway. You've been doing, I want to say, it sounds really silly and basic maybe, but I'm hearing you're doing good work, in terms of whatever it is that you've been putting out, into the universe, steps that you've been taking and so forth. But this Three of Wands, seeing this Three of Wands here, what's going to be brought into your awareness is just that, you can start to see things taking shape. It's about getting excited with, the present moment, the journey that you're on. Your vision is starting to come together. If you weren't really clear about where to put your focus, in terms of manifesting your next steps, what's going to be coming up, it's starting to take shape. It's starting to take form. You're starting to get a better feel for not only where it is that you're going, but maybe even for some where you want to go. Sometimes we just kind of are in that state of confusion where it's I don't know, like I've got my needs met and la la la, like yes, this could be better, that could be better, I could have more of this or more of that, less of this, less of that, but there's still a little bit of this wiggle room for that clarity. So here it is, that clarity is coming through, and it starts from the feeling, that Nine of Cups, like I was saying. So what are you potentially revisiting this full moon? The Son of Cups, yeah, to pursue your heart's passion, to tap in, to be inquisitive. All right. There could be certain things that, like messages coming through, I should say. There may be some movement at this time, or things that are going to be moving fluidly is what I'm getting. I'm getting, again, like, pay attention to your gut instincts and don't be afraid to go after it. Again, this is about what you might be revisiting. So I'm actually even picking up on, there may have been some conversations that you didn't necessarily get to, complete, you didn't really get to finish a conversation with someone, or there was a part of, again, like I had said with, the Three of Wands, the Nine of Cups, that maybe there are certain things that could be more of this, less of that, better, whatever. But there was a lack of clarity, or a lack of just that, aha, okay, that's it. That feeling of like, okay, this is the direction, that confidence and clarity, right? And so this is where you're going to be, again, tapping back into, I'm getting the fun and the flow. And again, just kind of giving your gut a little bit more attention. And maybe that's a physical thing too, if you're having stuff coming through with digestion, quite frankly. So maybe pay attention to that as well. Because I'm getting, remember that word that I said, be inquisitive, especially if you have a feeling about something, but feel, you know what I mean? But that could use a little bit more development or insight. Okay, so let's get you some advice for this full moon. Four of Swords. Okay, so Four of Swords is just that sign. Any mental conflict, any arguments or miscommunications, that's coming to a close. So you can breathe, you can relax, you can trust that this is a time of, I'm kind of getting like a little bit of respite for you, opening up to flow a bit more. And I was kind of saying that earlier in so many ways. But also with this Four of Swords, it's up to you in terms of, how should I put this, in so many ways. With the Four of Swords, it is all about taking that moment to breathe and to meditate and to allow, as well as, it's going to work on your behalf to trust that the right answers, messages, insights, clarity, it will come to you in divine time and order. Like you're going to get it, okay? If there is an obvious step for you to take, don't hesitate, take the step, okay? Take the step. What sort of downtime, what sort of vacation is your soul craving? Six of Cups. So yeah, you just kind of want to feel good. You want to just lean into people, places, experiences, foods that remind you of home or remind you of your childhood. I mean, I don't want to sound so obvious by, Six of Cups, childhood, pastimes, that sort of thing, but it's the comfort, okay? People, places, experience that feel like soul family, that can help to connect you emotionally to your roots, to your core. Things are going to be nurturing, relationships, communications, exchanges that will bring a sense of joy. Maybe even, I don't know why, but the word levity is coming to mind. Hopefully I'm using that word properly. But yeah, positive, healthy, joyful exchanges that can be very lighthearted. That's something to open up to and to embrace, Taurus. And, keep it simple, keep it light. We've got all minor arcana here. So I feel like this is a good sign to just take it easy. There's no big karmic stuff to overcome or to bust through. So that's pretty good. So Taurus, check out your rising and moon signs for some deeper insights. Maybe your Venus North Node. I always like to add that in. But you know what to do and where to go, girlonamoon.com for a 45-minute live reading or a pre-recorded. We're here for you. Take care and have a good one, Taurus. Gemini, how are you? Kapualani here. We got your girl and her moon. Scorpio full moon reading. So let's tap in. Let's see what we see. Let's see what's coming up, what's coming through for you during this Scorpio full moon. So Spirit, what does Gemini need to know in regards to this Scorpio full moon? What messages are coming through, coming up? Thank you, Spirit. All right, so Gemini, first up, what do you need to hear? What's your message from the universe? This Scorpio full moon, 6 of Wands. So be proud of yourself is the first thing that I'm getting. You know, you're going to be in this position to really hold your head high. Victory and success are yours. So anything that you've been applying yourself to, trust that it's going to work out. It's going to be a success. You do have people that look up to you, that are following your lead, your example. So just be aware of that. Okay. Just as a little bit of a mention, because this is the 6 of Wands, be mindful of who and what you're kind of giving attention to. There may be certain people or aspects that you could unintentionally be overlooking, just because it's like, I feel like I'm hearing the word finish line. Like maybe you see the finish line of something and you just kind of want to get through it. You want to celebrate, you want to enjoy your success and, whatever challenges that you've managed to overcome. But there might be one or two small details that Spirit is just kind of saying right now to make sure that you're keeping your eye on, and not overlooking, okay? So what will this full moon be bringing to your awareness? That being said, yeah, the 9 of Wands. So interesting that I was saying that in terms of looking back. That's what this 9 of Wands is about. How did you manage to get to this point of success? What steps did you take? What lessons did you learn? What challenges did you overcome or not? Maybe you stumbled over a few things. Did you do everything from a place of integrity, where there's some areas where maybe you could have maybe done a little bit better, or had more clarity or more openness in terms of your plans, or whatever it is that you were going to do. In terms of what I'm getting at here, Gemini, it's kind of like, how did your actions and the steps that you've taken to get to this point of success, how did that affect others around you? I don't know why, but I'm picking that up. It's just a point of reflection here that I'm getting the downloads from Spirit. But yeah, this 9 of Wands is saying, also because the 9 of Wands is about review and looking back, and it's a moment of pause, right? A moment of pause to collect yourself, to take a breath, maybe to take a break, because maybe you have been putting forth a lot of effort. So Spirit is saying to also mind your own energy level so that you're not going to get burnt out. Okay. So what are you potentially revisiting? Nine. I don't know. I've got the 9 of Wands here. The Emperor. Your responsibilities. Okay. So we're looking at, with the Emperor again, how do my actions affect those around me? Because sometimes when I see the Emperor, I think of the whole concept of the domino effect, the ripple effect, right? The Emperor is somebody who is very much in that position of responsibility, very much in this position of having to look at the bigger picture. Now, the Emperor is also in this position because we got Aries energy with the Emperor, and forgive that little wobble there. But the Emperor is what? In charge of the empire, right? And so leaning into your life lived wisdom and experience, and remembering, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. So you want to be methodical and strategic about your steps, your actions, even how you're communicating and putting your energy out there. Okay, so that's just something to consider here. So a lot of fire showing up initially in your reading right now, Gemini. So I feel like that's all I'm hearing, like the action base. And again, how you are projecting yourself, your image, your voice, your energy, okay, to those around you, okay, to those that you're responsible to as well. All right, advice for a smooth full moon. Father of Swords, and there you are, okay, Gemini, with that Air King energy. Okay, so Father of Swords, communications, being mindful of your words, and operating from a space of wisdom, operating from a space of responsibility, following and honoring the status quo. That's going to be a really big one from what I'm getting. So don't deviate from your plans. It's not about being cutthroat, but it's about being, again, that word responsible is coming to mind. So, Whether this is just about you being responsible to yourself and your bigger goals in the future and not deviating so that you can stay on track with those bigger goals, whether again it's about communications, communicating effectively, efficiently, and mindfully, so that you are not misrepresented or misunderstood, and just kind of, that mindful check yourself. Like sometimes we get a little bit drained or flustered or frustrated, and we don't always, speak clearly, and authentically. Sometimes we kind of deviate or we say things and then we're like, oh gosh, I didn't mean that, or I didn't mean to say it in that way. So just be mindful of that, okay, Gemini? So, what sort of vacation is your soul craving? And look, there you are again, the Lover's card, all right? Gemini energy. So, you just want to stand in your power. You want to be clear and confident in whatever shifts that are occurring, choices that you're making, whatever moves are going to be happening in terms of your direction, whether it's like actual physical direction, or if it's just about, again, decisions that need to be made. But there's a significant decision that is being made that you may already have made. Okay, and that's where it's saying again, trust your plans, follow in the status quo, be responsible, whatever it is that's happening. Make sure that you're working from a place of integrity as well. I think that came up earlier when we were looking at the Six of Wands, the Nine of Wands. But yeah, this Lover's card is a commitment to a next level, maybe to another person. If there's a partnership involved, again, maybe it's just that responsibility to your partner, but it's seeing things through and not being afraid to reach new heights, and again, to move things to the next level. So Gemini, I hope this time together has been supportive. Don't forget to check out your moon and rising signs for some deeper insights, maybe your Venus, your North Node. But at any rate, we are here for you, girlundermoon.com, for 45-minute live readings as well as pre-recorded sessions. All right, so have a good one, Gemini. Hey Cancer, how are you? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon Scorpio full moon reading. Let's dive in and see what we see what the cards want to express, communicate, share with you for this Scorpio full moon reading. All right, so what does Cancer need to know, Spirit? Thank you. What is the message for Cancer? All right. So Cancer, what do you need to hear from the universe? What is your message? Okay, so I'm like, am I upside down? And look, for some reason, I got it to that Father of Swords. So we have the Empress in reverse. And you know me, I don't really, if you've been watching, I don't generally read reversals. But there's some reason that this card appeared reverse. So are you feeling a little lackluster? Maybe you're not feeling too inspired, or even fulfilled, okay? So there is maybe a question of what brings me joy, what brings me fulfillment. When is enough enough? Is enough enough? Do I know what my limit is in terms of a goal that I want to reach? I feel like there is a perspective that you can gain this full moon around seeing and receiving, believing, and acknowledging that you have everything that you could ever need and more to fulfill your desires, to manifest the reality that you desire. Maybe you already have, but you're wondering what's next. Maybe you're feeling like you don't have enough resources, skills, whatever the case may be. I get that the message here again is to just look around and maybe shift your perspective in seeing how you do have everything that you need, or you know how to access it. It's just a matter of being able to access that information, again, that resource, that skill set. Okay, maybe there are certain skill sets or resources that you forgot that you have. All right, but there is a question of fulfillment here. So are you fulfilled with the life that you have created? And if not, what steps do you need to take to make that happen, to turn things around? Okay, so what will this woman be bringing into your awareness? Yeah, there's that fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, happiness, clarity. This could be a good time to cleanse your space. You know that with full moons, it's all about manifestation. I said this with another sign around, when we manifest, we want to make sure that we're manifesting from a space of clarity. So that could be with the benefit of doing a little bit of a cleansing ritual or ceremony before you put your manifestations out there. Okay, so Ace of Cups is coming from the heart, right? And not to forget, but the Empress is that Taurus energy, so it's that practicality, okay, of look no further than within, than what's right in front of you for the answers, for the next steps. And so Ace of Cups, you want to come from a pure, clean, clear space and heart more than anything. And I did speak to fulfillment, right? So maybe there's a new cycle for you to embrace with this full moon so that you can either turn things around or continue to move things in your favor into that desired sort of heart space energy. Okay, so the Ace of Cups is also communications from the heart. I get this energy to connect more to your water energy, for just any answers and like, okay, what do I do, what do I honor? Connect to your water Cancer, your nature in terms of your feeling, and keep it simple is what I'm hearing. Open up to embrace a new cycle, a new beginning, because it's there for you with this Ace of Cups, especially when we have this full moon, right? So what are you potentially revisiting? What do you need to revisit? The Chariot. Okay, so there's your energy, Cancerian energy, okay, with the Chariot. So it's balance and it's focus. Things may be moving swiftly, or things may be you may be on the go, you may be on the move, you may be thinking about traveling, potentially relocating, or at least, maybe not right this second, but things about the future that are coming up in terms of movement or relocation or travel. Maybe you're preparing for it just as we speak, okay? So it's about really maintaining and sustaining that sense of, again, focus and balance in terms of keeping things steady, and while things are in motion, while you're on the go, while you're making things happen, that you're not losing sight of the bigger picture, or clarity of the direction that you really want to be heading in. Okay, so for whatever reason, I'm getting just this sense of staying focused on the goals that are ahead, even if you don't know exactly, you know what I mean, even if it's going to be a little bit of a ride, let's just say hypothetically, like a ride, you know what I mean, where it's like, okay, I'm at point A, my destination is point Z, I maybe am really comfortable and familiar with getting to point E, let's just say, but beyond that, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna have to trust that I'll know what to do when the time comes. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. That's the idea. Okay, so let's get some advice for a smooth full moon. 8 of Swords. Things are in the state of development, okay? Again, it matches up with what I was saying earlier with the Chariot. Whatever answers are unknown to you here and now, they will become known. You're in a state of transformation, maybe metamorphosis in some way, in terms of the clarity that you seek, even understanding yourself in terms of what direction feels right for you to take. Something is definitely in development. So just be mindful, okay? If you're feeling a little bit caught up in your thoughts, connect again to your gut, connect to your heart. Again, that's where also that balance is taking place, is we got to show up, right? And take the steps that we need to take in order to get to where we eventually want to be, right? Even if we wanted to be there yesterday. So what sort of downtime, what sort of vacation is your soul craving? 9 of Swords. Yeah, so you want some relief from maybe the mental chatter. Maybe things are feeling a little bit heavy on a mental level. Like maybe there's a bit of anxiety, there's some stress. Maybe you haven't been sleeping so well. And so that's an area where it's about just kind of take a breath, all right? Breathe, slow down, air things out. I feel like maybe this is a good time to smudge. And we spoke to cleansing, so smudge your space. Because I'm thinking about the air. Let some fresh air in to your home space, to your office, whatever it is. Get out and get some fresh air. Do some EFT tapping, things that are going to calm the nervous system so that you can feel a bit more grounded. I feel like maybe it's that things feel a little bit upside down right now. So things that are going to support stress relief and relaxation will benefit you, okay? And investigating, like if there are things that have been weighing heavily on your mind that you've been stressing over or having anxiety about, the answers will come. Don't be afraid to seek out that support, all right? So, Cancer, I invite you to visit usgirlonamoon.com to schedule your 45-minute live or pre recorded session. And don't forget to check out your rising and moon signs for some deeper insights. And I always like to add in Venus and your North Node as well. So, have a good one till next time. Hey Leo, Kapualani here. I've got your girl and her moon Scorpio full moon reading. So let's see what messages Spirit has for you. What messages are coming through from the cards this Scorpio full moon in terms of what you need to hear. So Spirit, what messages do we have, for Leo? Leo. So Leo, look, we got your card that popped out, the Strength card. Okay, so there may be certain, I'm getting like challenges or obstacles, which also, you know what I mean? I feel like this is maybe core frustration, things. Okay, so whatever it is that may be challenging you or presenting as an obstacle, the Strength card is here to tell you that you're gonna get through it. Okay, it may not happen overnight, but it will happen. Trust in Spirit, trust in your higher self, trust in the messages that you're receiving from Spirit. I'm going to leave that there as we go into the full-fledged spread here, Leo. But having you show up front and center in your reading, it tells me just know yourself, know your nature, know how your energy, how you tend to be a bit more hardwired, so that you're not your own worst enemy. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see what we see here. Your message from the universe. Okay, so we've got the moon with the sun and the moon here. Interesting. We're not exactly the sun, but you see what I'm getting to. All right, so things may not be all that they appear to be. We've got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energies showing up with the moon. So if you have any of those signs in your chart, especially your moon or your rising, I highly recommend that you check that out. Okay, if you got one of those water signs. But this is about going into your gut, trusting your gut, allowing, there's something that needs, things may not move as quickly as you would like, or there's clarity that you may be seeking, to where the guidance is to trust Spirit, to trust your gut instincts, to allow for the answers to reveal themselves. It's not about just kind of staying stuck and waiting with your hands open, you know what I mean, palms open. But it's about saying, okay, whatever I'm seeing right now, this is not the end game. This is not the real reality that I'm holding space to manifest and co-create. Okay, this is a moment in time that's temporary. It too will pass. This too will pass. Whatever it is that's not a match, doesn't feel like it's a match to the reality that you're holding space to live. All right, that's where Spirit's saying, well, first of all, this is real reality. But secondly, it doesn't stop here. There's something that's in development, things that you cannot see right now. It's in that energetic form, that's taking shape. It's in development, the moon, the womb space. Okay, so something is in a space of creation right now. So it's all about just overcoming any frustration that you may have and navigating accordingly, just knowing that this time does benefit you, okay? Because it's a time to sort of allow for the whatever's in that underbelly, that needs to come up, the subconscious. It maybe there's some subconscious things coming up right now. And I had mentioned this for another sign, but maybe something to do with your digestion as well. And it may not be literal digestion. It could just be how you are digesting something, the truth, a conversation, the moment, all right? And knowing this too shall pass. I don't know why, but I had to say that. So what will this full moon be bringing to your awareness? 5 of Cups, disappointments, regrets, things from the past that maybe you didn't get to fully deal with. Maybe you have done your work and done your best to deal with certain things, but there's other elements and aspects that are still coming to light, coming to surface. And Spirit is encouraging you to focus on your healing. Continue to focus on that healing. Continue to hold that space in knowing that fulfillment is still possible for you. Love, joy, healing, whatever it is, it's possible and it's there for you. Okay, so ask yourself what aspects of the past, of what was or what coulda, woulda, shoulda been, are you unintentionally, maybe subconsciously having trouble letting go of, or things that are coming up so that you can let go of it. Okay, there's something to do with those core emotions coming through in this reading right now. Okay, so let's get you some, what you might be revisiting. What you might be revisiting. So stand in your power. We got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy with this Father of Wands, the visionary. Okay, so hold your vision of the future. I also am getting energy healer. So if you're an energy healer, in some way, psychic, all right, this is about really focusing on that visionary aspect of yourself. Open up to the journey. See this particular moment in time as a pilgrimage, that again, it doesn't stop here. Okay, this isn't all that there is, whatever it is, especially if you aren't feeling satisfied. It's not about running away from anything. It's not about not being present to the moment, but it's about saying, like, all you can do is be right here right now. Tomorrow will come. Those dreams, those goals are there for you as a guiding light, a guiding post. All right, and so it's about pacing yourself. Do what you need to do in the here and now to get there, to the next step and the next step. Trust your vibes, trust your instincts. Work on maybe clearing your vision if you're struggling with that right now. Okay, your psychic creative vision, your creative energy. It's tapping into that creative energy and not being afraid or hindered to take that aligned and inspired actionable step. Okay, in the moment, whatever that is. So advice for a smooth full moon, Son of Swords, be kind to your mind. I don't know why, I just kind of had to say that. Get a handle on your information, on your communications, on where you are focusing your mindset is what I'm getting. There could be some significant messages coming through, whether it's the actual physical mail, your email, text messages. Be mindful of just information coming through. Develop. There may be certain areas that you could use a bit of clarity on rather than rushing through the details. But going back to that Father of Wands, when I was saying, like, don't hesitate to take the action, even if you don't feel like you have all of the answers, or that you're so experienced and well informed, or that you don't have, okay, like I have something of a strategy or a plan. Don't stay stuck on perfection. Just try, just do, just make, you know what I mean? Take the step. And that's how you'll gain experience. That's how you'll gain or find your voice, even. Okay. That's how you'll gain that clarity. That's how you'll gain that confidence. All right. Let's see what sort of vacation or downtime your soul is craving. 3 of Pentacles. So yeah, you don't want to be doing this on your own anymore. Like, I'm getting it. That's just what came through first and foremost. You want to see, like, aside from the collaborative aspect of the 3 of Pentacles, when I said, yeah, you don't want to do this on your own anymore. This is also about the pieces coming together. You're ready to see things starting to take shape. You're ready to see things starting to take form. And then step out of this mode of holding space and holding a vision and working toward that vision. You'd like to see something manifesting, even if it's just something, you know what I mean? A piece of the puzzle that you can see coming together. And I get that so much, Leo. Okay, so this is about keeping it not just simple. Focus on right here, right now, and not just that, but trust that the pieces are again coming together to help you to gain a bit more confidence, clarity, and insight in terms of the bigger picture that you're holding space for. Okay, so just be like, focus on the day to day, focus on I don't want to just say like the mundane, but that's kind of what it is, and on, again, surface value, it may not seem so obvious that this is what you're, you know what I mean? This is what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe that mentally and you're telling yourself that, but on a motivation, inspiration scale, you're like, so don't give up, Leo. Stay strong and just take the action. Do what needs to be done, even if it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with the future that you desire, the life that you desire, the love, or whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest and co-create at this moment. Okay, so Check us out, girlonhermoon.com, to schedule your 45-minute live reading or a pre-recorded reading. But remember to also look back. And not even look back, look forward in terms of any deeper insights with your moon rising signs, and or your Venus and North nodes. Sorry about that, Leo. But at any rate, have a good one. Stay blessed. I'll see you next time. Hey Virgo, how are you? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon Scorpio full moon reading. Let's dive in. Let's see what the cards have to express to you, for you. What messages from Spirit want to come through Virgo. So Spirit, what does Virgo need to know in regards to this Scorpio full moon? Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Virgo. What does Virgo need to know, Spirit? Okay, so first up, your message from the universe. What do you need to hear this full moon? The Tower. I feel like I had said this earlier, maybe to Leo or another side. Be kind to your mind. You may have some, thoughts running overdrive, overload right now. There could be a significant shift or change happening that is just beyond your control. So embrace, I don't know why, but I'm hearing embrace the fallout, whatever that may be. This shift is necessary, is what I'm getting. This breakthrough, whatever it is, in terms of an alteration to the life and the reality that you know or have known. On the flip side, I also again want you to pay attention to your mental health. There may be a lot that's just kind of spiraling right now through your mind, and just feeling this sense of discord, worst case scenario stuff popping up. Do your best to ground, okay? This is Scorpio energy with this Tower. So this Scorpio full moon may be really having an impact on you, all right, in terms of just dredging things up. Or I don't know why, but I'm getting even putting certain pieces of information in your face or whatever. There's something that cannot be avoided that's going to be dealt with one way or another for this Scorpio full moon Virgo. All right, so let's keep it going here and see what is it that's being brought into your awareness. The Fool. So we've got Aquarian energy here. So this is about just letting go, letting flow, being present to the moment. Maybe there are certain elements that you don't feel total control over, or there's a feeling of sabotage, like self-sabotage, that could be happening. Again, worst case scenarios, maybe you're having suspicious thoughts, like, of others being unhappy with you or what. I don't know why, but that's just what's coming through in the downloads. But as always, take what resonates, leave the rest behind, let it fall to the wayside. But with this Fool card, it's about just, again, embracing the moment, the new cycles that are coming through, a new reality that's being birthed. And, change can always be a little bit jarring or scary. But in this case, I feel like, obviously with this Fool energy, maybe this is not the way that you would have wanted to go about doing something, which again brings up the whole energy of control. But this is not going to be a bad thing. For some, there may be some kind of unexpected surprise, but it's like with a new again, reality that's being birthed, maybe even someone new coming into your life, maybe again someone, something, whatever it is. There's some kind of a new shift. I was going to say a new reality, but I already said that. But a shift that's going to be taking place that opened you up to a new reality. Excuse me, sorry for the wobble. So let's see what you might be revisiting. 10 of Pentacles. Okay, for some of you, I don't know if there's like an unexpected pregnancy, or maybe if you already were pregnant, going to be giving birth at a time that you weren't expecting. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. But this 10 of Pentacles, what you might be revisiting, what you need to revisit is your stability, your long-term plans, goals, things like that, your long-term financial stability, house and home, things to do with family cycles. There could be some generational clearing that you've been working toward, and maybe that's what the breakthrough is, the shift in reality, a changing of the guards, so to speak. I don't know why, but it's like a turning a new leaf. Like maybe in some way, you know how there is a patriarch or a matriarch of the family, and maybe this is where you're starting to step into that role yourself in your own way. Okay. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with family. If this resonates with your work at all, that, you know, it could be that. But this is about decisions that you're making for the long term, again, with your security and your foundation. Okay. All right, let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon. Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups has been showing up in a few readings here. So there's definitely going to be this space for a new beginning, a new cycle, a clean slate that we're seeing. Go into your heart, express from the heart. Ask yourself, what truly brings me joy and fulfillment at this point, or at least, you know, like with the new cycle that we've got here, being represented, and with this full moon, if it benefits you or if it resonates, I recommend that you do a cleansing ritual or ceremony, maybe a bath, like a salt bath or something like that, for that purification, for a detox, whatever it is, so that, you know, especially when we have this tower energy showing up, just to help you to refocus and to feel a bit more clear in terms of, you know, any upheaval that may be taking place or that you might be experiencing. Okay, so having this Ace of Cups here again as advice, I also want to say, you know, look at things through fresh eyes. Okay, try to see yourself, your life situation, whatever it is that you're looking, you know, that you're experiencing or going through right now, see it through fresh eyes. There's definitely, I feel, a positive sort of energy or shift that's happening here. And maybe that, you know, the tower doesn't always have to be something scary, negative. It can be very positive and unexpected. All right, so just kind of keep that in mind. But let's see what sort of downtime your soul is craving now. This Six of Wands, yeah, you want to fly high. You want to have that success. You want to be seen, heard, and understood, valued for your efforts, okay, and for just whatever accomplishment that you've managed to attain at this time, okay. I feel like you do kind of want that support. You do want that, even to a degree, like maybe respect from your peers, from those around you. There's something about a desire for acknowledgement, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you have been putting forth a lot of solid effort towards something, especially if you've been doing a lot of inner work, okay? But yeah, with the Six of Wands, it is that victory is the success. Okay, so I can see how, especially, you know, with this tower and all that kind of thing, okay, so what I will say, Virgo, is just like, as a whole, looking at the spread here, you are going to be at a point of success. You will be in this position to feel proud of your accomplishments, what you have managed to overcome, and not just overcome, but maybe even build, maybe get through, do for yourself, for others, that sort of thing. But you're ready for that accolade. You're ready for that recognition, you know, so whether it's deals with love or family or work, even just within yourself and your own goals and efforts that you've been putting forth, you should feel proud of yourself, okay? And I see that happening for you. So Virgo, check out your moon and rising signs for some deeper insights and guidance. Visit us to schedule your session, girlonourmoon.com, 45-minute live readings, as well as the pre-recorded, of course. And lest I forget, check out if it speaks to your Venus and North nodes as well. All right, so thanks so much for being here, Virgo. Take care till next time. Hey Libra, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon Scorpio full moon reading. So let's dive in. Let's see what messages from Spirit the cards want to reveal. With Spirit, what does Libra need to know in regards to the Scorpio full moon? All All right, so first up, your message from the universe, what you need to hear this Scorpio full moon, Son of Cups, Libra. I don't know why, but I'm getting this feeling of, if you are feeling inspired or if you're getting some sort of sign synchronicity about a direction or a decision, go for it. Don't hold back. This is a time to express freely from your heart without allowing for your emotions to drive you in a sense. You want your emotions to motivate and inspire, but just be mindful to also, like, I don't know why. I don't want to sound like I'm being contradictory here, but it's like pump the brake a little bit, especially if you feel like you're in a rush. There could be a lot that is wanting to come through. Some of it I'm getting even may have you feeling a little bit overwhelmed for some reason is part of what I'm getting. But this is a good time to nurture yourself and those around you with this Son of Cups showing up, all right? I feel like, again, yeah, pay attention to the signs, to the synchronicities, ask questions, even if it's about spirit, like if you see certain signs, for example, don't just see, oh, okay, there's 222. Yeah, sometimes it is like acknowledging, okay, the angels are with me, my guides are with me, I'm on the right track. But if you're seeing it pretty often, like if there's a specific color that you keep seeing or a symbol, go ahead and look it up and maybe get a little bit of deeper insights there. Okay, there's some things that also messages coming through, heartfelt or heart-based or about energy healing, gut energy, gut energy, gut feelings, that kind of thing, or even movement in some sort of, like, things are going to be getting moving, especially if it's felt stagnated. All right, things are going to be bringing you fulfillment. So let's see what this woman will be bringing into your awareness. The High Priestess, more water energy. So we've got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio here with this High Priestess energy. Trusting your gut, trusting your intuition. Okay, there may be certain things that are coming through to you on an intuitive level. So pay attention, all right? Not everything may be as it seems or as it appears right now. There could be certain aspects of communication or what it is that you are seeing in your reality around you that's just not really matching your gut. So pay attention to your gut. There's no need to rush anything or to jump to any conclusions. You want to allow for things to, how should I put this? When your intuition is speaking to you, follow it and allow for the results to reveal themselves, okay? Seek out, be inquisitive accordingly. But in this case with the High Priestess, it's more about the information, the intuition that you receive rather than you seeking something out, okay? But as I said earlier, sorry, I don't want to sound contradictory. If it does deal with, like I said, signs and synchronicities that keep popping up, don't be afraid to be inquisitive about it, okay? So, and maybe that High Priestess is a person that you go to for deeper insight, like getting a reading or, something along those lines. But let's see what you might be revisiting, okay? Mother of Wands. Okay, so that's that creative vision, psychic energy, okay? Where are you focusing your energies? Where is your attention going? Because as it said, where attention goes, energy flows. And this Queen of Wands is, again, another sign to trust your vibes, trust your instincts. There may be something that's in a space of development. So, just because things are still developing doesn't mean that you should not have fun or enjoy yourself. Like, it could be that maybe, how should I put this? There may be certain limitations in some ways, but it's not to say that you are limited at all, like in life, you know what I mean? It's just about divine time and order. With this Mother of Wands energy, it's also about just working on any areas of yourself, your life, even if it's appearance that you may be feeling insecure about. So feeling confident and secure not only in your instincts, but your creative vision, what it is that you are manifesting and co-creating, and understanding that there are certain things that can develop very quickly and other things that maybe are going to need a little bit of time, obviously. So let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon. 8 of Cups, it's time to move on. It's time to let go of just any, how should I put this, stagnation, where it has felt as though you're just kind of stuck and unable to move forward, that's where the tides are going to be turning. It's going to be shifting. Okay, there is a way opening up for you to follow, to find some respite, to seek out other forms of fulfillment. There is something that's not serving you anymore. And spirit, your instincts are telling you that it's going to be okay. It's going to get better. It's just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other and trying. I get this feeling of like, for example, when you move, right? When you move away, or when something changes, graduate from school, and then you're going, college or whatever, or you move away from where you were and everything that you've known, there's always a little bit of like, mixed feelings in a sense. And so this is where Spirit's saying, all right, you got to the new place or the new space, the new reality, whatever it is. And maybe it's not giving you that sense of excitement that you would like as a distraction, right? Because sometimes when we get really busy, it can be a distraction from having to really deal with our emotions or what it is that's going on. And so in this case, it's not just, oh yeah, deal with the emotions, but it's giving you a space to move on. It's giving you a space to place your focus in terms of, okay, I'm in this new town and I had my favorite grocery store, my favorite cafe, whatever it is. And so now it's like this new place that you're in, it's not exactly the same. Maybe they don't have as many offerings, or maybe there's more offerings. And this is that time to explore. Okay, see what's out there, see what is a match to you, to your frequency. Okay, but again, follow your gut, so yeah, be adventurous, be exploratory in terms of whatever this phase is that you're in right now. Okay, so let's get some guidance in terms of what sort of downtime your soul is craving. Six of Swords, yeah, you just kind of want a smooth transition. All right, so you maybe a relocation has already happened, maybe it's underway, maybe there's travel, maybe there's some sort, like, it's a transitionary period. I feel like you want to have a smooth transition. I feel like you're ready to look forward to the good that's on the other side, or just to see what's there on the other side. The word explore is coming through again, but definitely you're moving on from whatever felt stuck, stagnated, unsatisfactory, or even just a lower kind of vibes or something like that. You're ready to move on authentically, and you will be, and you are. All right, Libra? So check out your moon and rising signs for some added guidance and insight. Maybe even your Venus, your North Node. But visit usgirlonthemoon.com to schedule your own reading, a 45-minute live or a pre-recorded. We are here for you, Libra, okay? Take care. Hey Scorpio, Kapualani here. I've got your girl and her moon Scorpio full moon reading. Let's dive into the cards and see what messages Spirit has for you, Scorpio. This is your full moon. Alrighty, we've got the Empress energy. Interesting. Okay, so with this Empress energy, it's about acknowledging where you are fulfilled in life, or maybe even unfulfilled, so that you can take those inspired aligned actions accordingly. Okay, the Empress is Taurus energy, so that speaks to the more practical side of things, and acknowledging that I'm even getting your own divine feminine energy, and it doesn't matter. It's not about male or female, it's about energy. And so the Empress has that ability to manifest simply through being, has everything at her disposal to make something happen, the tools, the resources, the skill sets, or those around her, or knows how to access those people, those places, those experiences, whatever it is. Okay, so this should have you, this full moon, I don't know why, but I feel like saying, yeah, it is all about you. That's Scorpio full moon, you're Scorpio, right? But I digress. This whole energy of the Empress is also that you should be feeling pretty fulfilled. You should be feeling pretty good. Of course, we got the other cards to pull here, but there's a focus on abundance and prosperity, and being in this position to really feel good about yourself, your circumstances, house and home, all of that good stuff, So, all right. What will this woman be bringing to your awareness? Father of Pentacles. Okay, so if you haven't, there's another Earth energy here. So Taurus, Capricorn. Oh my gosh, why am I? Oh my God, Virgo, excuse me, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. If you have any of those signs in your chart, or maybe there's a person with that sign around you, there could be some significance that's there, all right? But at any rate, with this Father of Pentacles, it's all about the side of yourself that you show to the world. So step out. If this is, if you are really focused on work, on money, on business at all, then this bodes well for you, is what I'm getting. I feel like, with the Father of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, there's a responsibility to your resources and how you are going about manifesting, co-creating, making that happen. I do feel there's something to do with representation of oneself and what one represents. Representation of oneself and what one represents. That sounds a little silly, huh? But I think you know what I'm saying here. Okay. Responsibility to others. There, you may have certain responsibilities, financial or otherwise, because we're talking about physical here. Okay, so even if it's just, yes, financial, but I feel like, I don't know, even if it's about coworkers, friends, showing up and giving, like lending a hand with your own expertise, there's something here about your expertise as well. So let's see what you might be revisiting. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so taking this time, yeah, you have a particular eye for something, or some kind of experience that may be able to discern certain missing pieces of the puzzles that others can't see. This may be a time for you to focus on that. If not the latter, but it's about, with the Ace of Pentacles, take this time to look back over your work and how far you've come, so that you can also acknowledge how you've improved. For example, with the Eight of Pentacles, typically it's a blacksmith that is hammering away, right, at a pentacle, and then you can see the other Seven Pentacles next to him that are already complete. Now, when you start off at, chiseling away on that first pentacle, you're going to learn a few things. You're going to be a bit more efficient, maybe, and effective with your skill set by the time you get to the eighth pentacle. So this might be a good time to look back to where you started and say, oh, what can I refine? How have I improved? And what have I managed to, like if it's a learning curve, for example. So it's taking this time to refine, to inspect, to maybe polish things up before putting forth the final project, the final result, okay? So let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon. Six of Swords. All right, so I feel like this is about focusing on the path that's ahead, being in a space of flow, peaceful transitions with the Six of Swords. You may be thinking of moving or traveling. That may be something that's already underway. There may be someone coming to you, in other words, but it doesn't have to be a literal physical thing, of course, because this is air energy, right? So with the Six of Swords, this should bode well for you in terms of being a smooth, peaceful time of just kind of, I don't want to just say coming and going, but flow. Flow is what I mean to say here. So yeah, breathe, focus on what's ahead, and moving forward and onward to the next level, whatever that may be, to the other side of things, okay? And continuing on, continue to show up as you've been showing up, because again, we open up with the Empress here, so it tells me that you're in a pretty good space. All right, so let's see what sort of vacation your soul's craving. The Star. Yeah, focusing on your hopes and dreams. Maybe you're wanting to be the star of your own show, your own life. You know what I mean? Because if reality as it stands is your movie, right? That's your life story here. So with the Star, there's a focus also on healing. So, maybe there's going to be some positive, peaceful communications that are happening. With the Star energy, I'm also getting, how you show up. There's others who are, I don't want to say, oh, other people are watching you, but maybe they admire the position that you're in and what you've managed to accomplish for yourself. So in some cases, this form of leadership that you carry just in simply living and breathing and being who you are, not intentionally, so you don't have to do anything other than what you've been doing to be a positive example for others or guiding light for others. And on the flip side, you know, maybe for you, you're looking toward a guiding light for yourself, whether they're your goals or a person, you know, that you can be like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, I get this is more about you though, being the example. This is more about you again being the star of the show, of your own show, that kind of a thing. But definitely, if and where you've been doing the work, this is a really good sign of things moving along, not just smoothly, but getting brighter, okay, is what I'm hearing. Things are getting brighter, Scorpio. So check out your moon and rising signs for some added insight, deeper guidance, maybe even your Venus North Node. I always like to add those in. But visit us to schedule your own 45-minute live session or pre-recorded at girlandhermoon.com. All right, and have a good one, Scorpio. Hey Sagittarius, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, Scorpio full moon reading. I hope this finds you doing well. Let's dive in. Let's see what insights the cards have for you, what messages are coming through from Spirit in regards to this Scorpio full moon. Okay, so what does Sagittarius need to know? What are the messages for Sagittarius, Spirit? Thank you. All right, so before I could even get to the actual spread, we've got Son of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, High Priestess. So things are developing, even if it feels like it's moving a little bit slowly. You may already sense that. You may feel that. You're ready to move on, though. You're ready to move out of, you know, just kind of focusing on letting your intuition guide you and get into something physical and hands-on, something a bit more tactile. Whatever it is that you're moving toward or that you're working on, working through, you will see results. Okay, Sagittarius, there will be results in the end. But let's see, Spirit, what messages are coming through for Sagittarius? Thank you. All right, first up, what you need to hear from the universe. The moon in and of itself, yeah, not everything is as it appears. There are some things that are maybe still in a space of development and needing a bit of time for that to happen. I hadn't said that, like, you know, the moon has shown up for at least one other sign. But my point is, okay, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energies, that may be significant, whether in your chart or around you. But there's, again, something's in development. There's something that is maybe beyond your awareness that, like I said, I'm like, you're tired of trusting. You may be tired of trusting your intuition, Sagittarius. But this is to say that, again, not everything is as it seems. So give time and space, give the divine room to allow for those manifestations, those answers, those steps to reveal themselves, to be guided. But what I was going to add also with the moon, there may be something significant happening within, like, give or take 28 to 30 days, so a month's time, whether backwards or forwards in terms of those developments, shifts, changes. And so maybe if you look back at this time, 28 to 30, you know, last month kind of a thing, see where you were at then and where you are now. And then give yourself that wiggle room again for the you know, a month from now. See what transpires, okay? Especially if you're feeling a little bit like, all right, what's going on here, okay? But trust your gut, trust your instincts. Don't rush to conclusions, okay? Something, someone, the circumstances around you are not all that they appear, so it's going to need a little bit of time, okay, to be revealed. So what will this full moon be bringing into your awareness? Five of Pentacles. Where am I going with that? Five of Wands. Okay, a little bit of Freudian slip there maybe. But a Five of Wands is conflict, having to put a little bit of effort into what it is that you're doing. And maybe there's some frustration. There may be some conflict with others. Maybe not even directly, but in terms of the energy. Okay, so you may need to, I don't know why, but I'm hearing either go back to the drawing board, or it's about, you know, having to persist and really put an effort into something, whatever it is that you're doing, even if it's just getting your day going, you know, even if it's that when you're leaving the house, you're like, oh man, like what is going on here with the traffic or whatever. There may be some frustrations that come up. And I feel like maybe that's what that moon energy is saying, is just kind of like, just take a breath, don't give up, persist. Because with the Five of Wands, I often feel that, you know, or, you know, just think of the phrase, practice makes perfect. So don't give up. put it forth that best effort. You may need to contend with one or two things, one or two people, whatnot. But this is that time to really sort of, I'm getting this, it's an opportunity for you to, what is it called? Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of building up that strength, building up your muscles in so many ways, whether it, like, not literally, maybe you are, maybe you're trying to, get in shape or something, but it's more about kind of like making progress. All right, so what are you revisiting? Ace of Cups. Okay, we keep seeing the Ace of Cups in the cards for the signs here. So this is that heart center energy. This is a new beginning, a new cycle. Purification is going to be significant here. So, as I've recommended for the other signs who've had the Ace of Cups, I'll recommend to you maybe a cleanse, maybe even a detox, maybe, something that's going to help you with a reset may be beneficial here. All right, Ace of Cups. Be mindful of any, like, I don't know why, but like, I'm just getting drinking. Like, I wouldn't normally say that when I see these cards or this card, but it's like having a new start. Especially if you have overcome any form of challenge or obstacle, just really embracing, especially on a health, healing, heart, love level. Okay, self-love is where it all starts. So let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon. 9 of Pentacles. All right. So appreciating the success that you have managed to attain thus far, really embracing the good and the accomplishments, you know what I mean? And recognizing that you are in this space of, how should I put that? Others admire what you've managed to accomplish. Others are kind of watching or maybe even admiring you. There may be someone checking you out, maybe if you're in the dating scene or something like that, or even if it's work related, let's just say, it doesn't have to be romantic, of course, but you're in this position of, how should I put this, achievements, accomplishments. 9 of Pentacles is one step away from the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress mode, and so have confidence that you're doing well, okay, even if it feels like, man, I'm having to really kind of push forth on something to get from one side to the other. But let's see what sort of downtime your soul is craving. Okay, Son of Cups. Yeah, you just kind of want to have fun. I feel like this is about getting out, and I feel like it's about exploration. There's a sense of adventure here. There's a sense of following your heart and tapping into where your gut is calling you, okay? In terms of those experiences, it's about expressing yourself and being in a space of flow. I'm just getting flow and fun. Like, you've earned it, you deserved it, or you do deserve it. This could be about romance and meeting, someone new, or at least if you're in a pre-existing relationship, just getting out. I feel like I'm just getting get out, go out, get a bite to eat, have a good time, whatever the case may be in terms of just lightening and brightening things up. Okay, Sagittarius. So check out your moon and rising signs for some deeper insights. Maybe even your Venus, your North Node. Visit us to schedule your session, girlonthemoon.com. We offer 45-minute lives and pre-recordeds. But at any rate, take care. Have a good one, Sagittarius. Thanks for being here. Capricorn, how are you? Kapualani here with your girl and her moon, Scorpio full moon reading. So let's dive in. Let's see what messages the cards have for you this full moon, Capricorn. Spirit, what does Capricorn need to know? It's a message for Capricorn. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. First up, what do you need to hear from the universe? Daughter of Pentacles. Okay, so the Page of Pentacles, this is an energy, I feel like aside from this aspect or potential new beginning here, you could be either, I don't know why, but I'm getting trade. So work wise, there may be something that you're getting into, whether it's a hobby or a new form of work, a new job, something that you're looking at or desiring. Maybe you want a fresh start, a new beginning some way. This could even relate to you on a physical health level in terms of changing things up with your diet, exercise routine. But you know, pages, they encourage you to explore, to try new things. There may be some new cycle that you're opening up to, that you're looking at and or desiring, as I was saying. But this, you know, with the Daughter of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles, there could also be some significant messages coming through. So keep your eyes open. There may be certain things out there. I don't know why, but I'm just like seeing it like physically with your, you know, eyes, that you're seeing in terms of a direction or in terms of being inquisitive, you know, and again, that word exploring, that sort of thing. Get hands on. Again, try new things, taste new foods, be open to that, okay? Because there's something here, something there for you, Capricorn. Let's see what this full moon will be bringing into your awareness. Mother of Pentacles, interesting, interesting. So, whatever this new cycle, new possibility, new job, or branch off, you know what I mean? If it's a side job, whatever the case, hobby, you know, skill set that you can learn or make money with this Mother of Pentacles, yeah, maybe it's about your future stability, future security, and really assessing what your core priorities are at this time. With the Mother of Pentacles, again, there's a focus on, yes, house and home, making sure that your bases are covered, but also securing things for future generations, future stability, foundations, that sort of thing. It could be about also, again, your health in terms of self-care. Okay, the choices that you make and how that will manifest in the future, you know, in months, years to come, kind of a thing. And so self care, I'm getting, could be a big one. Making sure that you are prioritizing yourself, your finances, your resources, your health, okay? Your physical care, that kind of a thing coming through here. Okay, so let's see what you might be revisiting this full moon. Oh my gosh, Capricorn, your earth energies, you are all over this, okay? All up in this. The devil energies, okay? So you have the skill set, you have what it takes to make something happen, to bring something into reality. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, you know, you'll know what to do, you know how to put it together. Okay, this, I feel like this could have to do with your future prospects, with work, with career, with how you make money, and opening up to, again, a new way of making money, perhaps. That's going to be accelerated. This energy is telling you to lean into the, you know, your core self and what you already know. Lean into, you know, I did say core self, but what I mean to say here is really be self aware, aware of like your own ticks, your own habits, even blind spots. This is an opportunity for that so that you can evolve, you can transform, you can really start to step it up if that's what you're wanting here, as well as being mindful of any fixations. Because as we know with the devil, it brings up you know, self-limiting behaviors, patterns, and that sort of thing. So it's about also acknowledging if and where you are being your own worst enemy, if and where you might be putting obstacles or might be creating those obstacles for yourself, okay? But yeah, just that self-awareness. Okay, but let's give you some advice for a smooth full moon, Capricorn. Eight of Cups, so it's time to move on, and I think you're ready for it. Okay, focus on new horizons, focus on, you know, even if you're not sure of what's going to make you happy or bring you fulfillment, trust that there is something on the other side of all of this. Okay, it's time to recognize where, you know, that stagnated energy with the Eight of Cups is recognizing where you've already, you know what I mean? You've tried it 1,000 different ways, and now it's time to accept that this just is what it is, and it's time to move on. Okay. And that's where I'm going back to the Star of Pentacles, about a new way of seeing things, of doing things, of handling things yourself. Okay. And being open to the new cycles, or a new cycle of learning, of understanding that maybe there is also even something new on the horizon in development here for you. And it can and will bring you a sense of fulfillment, even if there's a part of you that's feeling a little bit, you know, maybe you're feeling some kind of a way in terms of moving on. Okay. All right. What sort of vacation is your soul craving? Nine of Cups. Yeah, you just want you just want to be happy, right? You want to be able to just kind of chill and enjoy. You want to be able to, like, even if, okay, so the Nine of Cups, there's this. It's about your own independent happiness. You know, maybe there's a part of you that has really tried to, like, be there for others or make others or another happy, but now it's time for you to just kind of focus on your own happiness, and it's not in a selfish negative way, but it's in a selfish healthy way. You know, because at the end of the day, you can really only be responsible for your happiness yourself, right? And the choices that you make, and not as a cop out, but just in terms of how we can't control how others feel. Okay. But it's nice that we go from the Eight of Cups to the Nine of Cups, because it does say that you will find that, you know, that like, generally, or at least sometimes when I see the Eight of Cups, I'll say, okay, the spring is, the wellspring has run dry. Time to seek out fresh waters, like fresh springs, right? And it's right there, right around the corner. So as you put in that effort, and as you open up to exploring and checking things out, you only help yourself, and you will find the happiness that you seek, or that level of self-satisfaction. Okay, it's right there, it's right around the corner, Capricorn. So I encourage you to check out your rising and moon signs, get some deeper guidance insights. And if you'd like, I also encourage your Venus North Nodes, that you check that out. But we're here for you, girlinthemoon.com. We offer 45-minute lives and pre-recorded readings. So till next time, take care. Hey Aquarius, Kapualani here with your girl and her moon Scorpio full moon reading. So let's see what we see. What messages, Spirit, do we have for Aquarius? And already, look, we got Seven of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and Judgment. So there's going to be some kind of a realization, maybe after a period of confusion and a lot of reflection, asking yourself, who and what are worth my time, energy, and value. You're going to have some sort of clarity coming through that will help you to make a decision if you have been feeling confused or stuck or overwhelmed in any way. Okay. And we've got, look at that, the Four of Cups, the Ace of Swords. So the answer is right in front of you. It's right under your nose. It may seem very mundane. You might even, like, maybe it's just been something that's been there, but you just kind of forgot about it, or you haven't noticed it, you know, and the obvious is right in front of you, so that you just don't see it. There's some kind of clarity, like I said, that's going to come through, that's going to help you make a decision. Okay, you'll know what to do. Conflict resolution, Ace of Swords. So wherever you have experienced confusion, maybe there's been a little bit of overanalyzing or overthinking, Aquarius, you're going to be moving out of that. You are going to get your answer. We got the Lovers card here. Yeah, there's a big decision, some kind of a significant choice, decision, shift that's underway, that's happening, that you're making. Maybe a next level of commitment to something or someone that you'll be moving toward. All right, so that's really interesting, Aquarius. We got somebody got some spirit guides that really wanted you to receive those insights and messages, Aquarius. Okay, so Spirit, again, what is the core message for this Scorpio full moon for Aquarius? And we'll see if we have any repeats. So 8 of Pentacles. There's a work in progress here. So take this time to review, to reflect upon where you may have felt in the dark, or like you didn't know what you were doing. You're going to start to feel a sense of confidence. You're going to start to see that your efforts are paying off. Okay, this is a good time to, I'm hearing the word revamp, re-inspire, but definitely refine your goals, refine your steps, refine how you've been going about doing what you're doing. Not necessarily shaking things up, but maybe polishing things up. All right. If you've let certain aspects or areas of your life slide a little bit because you've been really focused on seeing results or getting things done in one area, this is that time to start to kind of just bring it together. Okay. Like that gaping hole there in the web. We want to tie up the loose ends. Stitch in time saves nine, that kind of a thing. All right, Aquarius. So, what will this full moon be bringing into your awareness? The Hermit. Okay, so trusting your inner voice, doing that soul search, soul journey type thing. Okay, understanding that you are a light in the dark. What you do, I don't know why, but I'm getting what you say and do. It does matter. Okay, it does matter. It does hold weight. You may need or desire to seek out a mentor, a guide, the experience, or rather expertise of someone who is more experienced than you are in terms of the goals that you're looking at. So this could be a sign to reach out to a mentor if you are not the mentor yourself, if you are not that voice of wisdom and life experience. But Virgo energy here with the Hermit. So if you have that sign in your chart, or maybe there's a Virgo around you, there could be some significance there. All right. But otherwise, it's about going inward, doing a little bit of soul search, looking back to look forward. Okay. All right, what you might be revisiting. That being said, Mother of Wands. Yeah, trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your vibes. I really feel in this case with this Mother of Wands, the Queen of Wands, protect your assets, protect what's in development, your vision, your creative energy. Okay, you might be feeling a little bit insecure, and don't worry if you're not feeling insecure, then totally it's all good, let it fall by the wayside. If you're feeling totally confident, awesome. Okay, that's where you want to be. And while you're at it, don't be too overly confident that you aren't you kind of like, okay, so what I'm getting at here is you can see that the serpent is coiled around those eggs as a form of protection, incubation, and development, right? Something's in development here. So stay focused on that. Don't just walk away or forget about it, that kind of thing. Maybe you're needing to shift gears a little bit, but you're almost there, okay? You're almost there. So let's get you some advice for a smooth full moon. Son of Wands, take the action. Go for it. Slow down where it makes sense. Don't rush. Don't be in a hurry. But definitely stay inspired. Okay? With the Knights, there's this energy of adventure. There's this energy of trying things out, testing out your skills, your skill set. Like I said, in terms of not shaking things up, but shifting things a little bit, putting a bit of perspective on how far you've come as well. Okay, Aquarius. So, okay, there may also be some incoming messages, things that are going to be developing rather quickly also, but trust your instincts. I've said, and forgive me if you've seen some of the other signs, you heard me say this, but be inquisitive, check things out. Don't be afraid to also, expand your horizons a little bit here. All right, so what sort of vacation is your soul craving? The Magician. Okay, empowerment. We got Virgo energy showing up twice here, so there could be something with, again, that sign, or maybe even Virgo season. So that'd be August, September. Aquarius, if they're just as a note. So this is about self-empowerment. You're really in this place of harnessing your manifestation abilities. Okay, you want to feel empowered. You want to feel in control of not just your reality, yourself, that kind of a thing, where things are heading, the trajectory here. The Magician, again, is just that reminder that you have all of the skills and resources available to you. You have the experience. There's something here that's shining a light on your experience. I feel like, if you have been hermiting, if you have been doing things a little bit closer to the vest or behind closed doors, it's like you're wanting to step out and present it to the world. You want to be seen. You want, you know what I mean? You want your efforts, you want your talents, you want your progress to be acknowledged. That's what I'm getting. So, in so many ways, where it resonates, don't be afraid to step out, if that's the case, in where it matters. There may be certain things that you're wanting to still kind of hold back and protect a little, but in other ways, don't hesitate to step out. I hope that makes sense, Aquarius. But at any rate, please check out your rising and moon signs for some deeper insights, and also your Venus and North nodes if that should pique your curiosity. But otherwise, we are here for you, girlonamoon.com, for a 45-minute live session as well as pre-recorded. So take care. Till next time. Hey Pisces, Kapualani here. I've got your girl and her moon Scorpio full moon reading. So let's see what the cards reveal. Let's see what messages are coming through from Spirit for you during this Scorpio full moon. All right. What do you need to hear from the universe? Pisces, the Chariots. We got Cancerian energies here. Okay, so balance is everything. You could have some travel that's coming up, or you could be traveling as it is. So have fun, okay? There may be, I want to get destinations unknown, even if you have a name for it. Give yourself that space to be both present to the moment while keeping your eyes on the prize, on the road, on what's ahead, okay? So I'm also getting surrender to the experience, trusting and knowing that you've got what it takes to succeed, to make it from point A to point B, point C, all the way to point Z. It's about, again, embracing things as it unfolds and trusting in yourself, in your experiences, in your ability more than anything to see something through, to make something happen, to have a successful outcome. Because ultimately, with the Chariot, this is an energy of victory, okay? And whatever the case may be, you have a mastery that will, I want to say, extend to those areas that may be unknown. Like I said, experiences that are unknown. You will know how to handle it when you get there. Okay, so what will this full moon be bringing into your awareness? The Son of Swords. Okay, so travel by air, but it doesn't have to be. That could be like part of it. Okay, I don't know why I had to say that, but it just had to say that. But with the Son of Swords, the Knight of Swords, things moving very swiftly. Pay attention to communications, how you word things, read things thoroughly. Don't hesitate, even if you don't feel like you have mastered things or something completely. You will figure it out. Okay, give yourself that benefit of the doubt, that grace to just see it through, to try it anyway, to go there, because nights are about movement, and we got that movement showing up here, the wind blowing through your hair. But I feel like this is also about getting a handle on things. So this is your opportunity to gain some experience as well, to build up that confidence in terms of expanding your knowledge, and it's not just a matter of information, right? And gaining information or reading information, but it's about putting it to use and gaining that experience, that knowledge, right? Knowledge and information are not exactly the same things here. So, you've got that life experience, you're very knowledgeable, and now there may be something relatively new, not brand new, but something that maybe you haven't quite, you don't fully quite, you can't say, okay, I feel very confident in what I'm doing, you know what I mean? But you've got the will, you've got the desire and the will to go for something, even if you are not the most, what is it called, well-rounded in that, or experienced. It's time for that, for gaining it, okay? Gaining the experience, all right? So let's see what you are potentially revisiting. 9 of Swords. So it could be a little bit stressful. whatever it is that you're looking at, some anxiety, some stress. So breathe. Okay, breathe. Maybe you've been preparing for something, studying for something, reading up on something, and you're getting close to that threshold of execution, of putting something into motion, right? So whether it's even it's like, oh yeah, I've been watching YouTube videos on how to do XYZ, and I've never done this before, and oh my gosh, I don't want to mess it up, but rubber's got to hit the pavement at some point. You got to make this happen here. So I feel like that's where Spirit's like, okay, just breathe, reflect on, some of the points you have, and you're gonna get there, okay? With that Nine of Swords energy, this may deal with your nervous system. So maybe, if there's anything that you have done, look to your previous experiences and how you've managed to overcome stressful moments before. Don't forget, you've been through various life experiences, and there have been experiences that have brought anxiety or that have kind of really put you into a little bit of a pain point, but you've managed, right? You've gotten through. So if anything, like, look back to those as reference points in terms, okay, how did I deal with this or not deal with it? And if I didn't deal so well with it, what are the things that I could be doing differently this time? Okay, what could I, should I, would I be doing differently this time to help myself here? Okay. All right. Advice for a smooth full moon. The World. Yeah, the World is that card of fulfillment. So something is coming full circle here. And again, there could be travel, significant travel, or things that are opening you up to a new world, a new perspective, a new life experience. Okay. It doesn't, again, have to be actual physical travel. I don't know. I'm thinking of this. There's a song where, at least it was the name of an album, Traveling Without Moving. I think it was like that band Jamiroquai. Sorry, I wouldn't normally just kind of put that in there. But, if Jamiroquai means anything to you, or that phrase, then hey, this is definitely your message, right? But yeah, so something is coming full circle. The World, with the thick signs, you got Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio. So either those seasons, those, times of the year, matching those signs, or if you have one or two, or maybe, a few of those signs in your chart, there could be some significance there. But it's about gaining that sense of confidence. Whatever it is that you've been waiting for completion on, that's coming to a close. You do have an opportunity to gain a foothold in whatever it is that you're wanting to feel a bit more grounded and confident about. All right, that's just like the message that I'm getting. You are being divinely guided, especially those moments where you feel a little bit isolated on the spot or alone in what it is that you're doing. I'm hearing bigger picture, is coming into view, the bigger picture of whatever it is that you've been working on or working toward, especially if it's about a goal. The World can be significant for, in terms of period of time, in terms of cycle. So whether it's 1 year or maybe something even beyond that, something bigger and broader. That would make some sense for you in terms of closing certain things out. Like, man, I've been really working toward this, working toward that, putting in effort into, bettering myself in this or that way. That's going to be a really positive sign that you've made it, that you're accomplishing your goals. You made it happen. So let's see what sort of downtime, what sort of vacation your soul is craving. Five of Wands. Yeah, I get this feeling of dance. I don't know why, but I'm thinking about dancing when I see this Five of Wands, getting your body moving. There may be some frustration, some struggle, some conflict with movement, with energy, with others. And I feel like in seeing this, in terms of a vacation or what you desire, you're ready for that to calm down. Okay, you're ready to not have to put forth so much effort anymore, is what I'm getting. It's like I get this feeling that, it's like I said, with the movement part, sometimes, what is it called? A little bit of exercise, moving the body, even though it's like we might not want to, it's what helps us to feel better at the end of the day. So healthy, safe movement, you know what I mean? Working out any tension or frustration, whether it's just what you're feeling and experiencing on your own or if it's with another, whatnot. This could even be like, again, if you're traveling or you're about to travel, or maybe you just came back from travels, like a readjustment, you know, to the environment and to the energies that are around you, whether they're people or a place or a combination of things. All right, Pisces, but I hope that this has helped. Definitely look into your rising and moon signs for some deeper guidance and insight. Maybe even your Venus and North nodes. I always like to add that in there, but we are here for you. So visit us to schedule your session at girlundermoon.com for a 45-minute live session or pre-recorded. So take good care. Till next time.